Well, we are at a midpoint in the first week of F1 testing, the closed off testing. Probably got some thoughts on that in the future. But in more positive news, we've also midway through the livery reveals. We've got 4 teams left that to do their livery reveals, which will be coming across next week. And I thought it'd be a good idea to sort of like review it all together. And I've got to be honest, it gave me a little bit of a conundrum. You see, normally when you see other people do their, do their stuff when it comes to liveries, they'll do like a ranking system. Which one do they like? Which one do they not like? All that sort of thing. Or they'll do a sort of like, this is in last place, this is in first place, do comparisons between the two, maybe like a winner stays on, something like that. And I can't do it this year. And I'll tell you why. With the exception of like 1 or 2, every one of them has been a banger. And I think the best way of describing it is that they're throwback bangers. If you love, like, let's say, the lore of F1, the history of F1, you are going to absolutely love what we're going to have coming ahead. If you are already a nerd and you've already been watching Formula 1 and been buffed up on the history, you already know what's coming. But yeah, we're gonna basically just be fawning over these liveries. That there's not really going to be that much hate, although, like I say, there's 1 or 2 maybe don't quite have it. And I'd love to know your thoughts, by the way, on your favourite liveries so far, and whether you disagree with me on any of these. So, we're going to dive into it chronologically. The first teams that came out with their liveries will finish off for the last ones, and we got started off very strongly with Red Bull. Red Bull were the first ones out there providing their livery. This is the car they provided. Now, there's a few pictures that they provided, some details, some close-ups, the colours there, like all the details there. That's how it looks from the top. You got that was when it was in the showroom. That's the front wing. Again, we're looking at more simple front wings and all that. More details there. A little bit, I think there's a couple more further on as well. But really, the one to keep an eye out for is this one. Banger number 1, this one. This has been the Red Bull we've been wanting for years. Now, look, let's be honest. The Red Bull livery has been the same over the past few years. Same dark blue. You can't really do much. You've got the bulls. You've got the rising sun. Like it's there. You can't do anything about it. It's there. And so it felt a little bit like being a spoilt kid, me saying, yeah, but I want more. And I think after last year's, I was like going, maybe I'm being too harsh on Red Bull. But this livery right here, the faintness of the lighter blue, almost like sort of with this and the Ford and everything like that, it sort of reminds me of when Red Bull first started out in Formula 1. There's a little bit of fun, just a little glimmer of fun, and it just feels like there's a little change in the air. And aesthetically speaking, it is gorgeous. I can't believe I'm saying it about a Red Bull car, but this livery is stunning. Absolutely fantastic. So, like, okay then, right. that's the winner then, isn't it? But like I say, there's more bangers to come. You guys are going to absolutely love it. Now, let's go on to the next one. The next one was the sister team of Red Bull. We had Racing Bulls. Now, at first glance, I was like, oh dear. This is a little bit concerning because this is the same one we had last year. Now, I was having to go at Red Bull for that. We're doing the same here? No, because the Racing Bulls have brought the blue flashes a bit more into the car. This is clean. Absolutely clean. Now, this is where it's not quite a banger for me, right? Because there are some areas, basically around the Visa area, where it almost feels a little bit disconnected. I don't know if that's the right word for it. I don't know whether it would have been better to have had the side pod where Visa is, have that almost like cut off where that's the only bit of white, or maybe like sort of white along the sides, dark blue at the top. I don't know, but I'm not saying it's a bad one. It is a good car. It looks a little bit messy at the wings, I will say that as well, but it's acceptable. Do you know what? The best way of describing this, most of the years, this would be a great look. But the bar's been set high this year. But this is the Visa Cash RB. More detail showing what it looks like from up top. Again, this is what I'm saying. It's okay, right? How it looked like under the lights, which kind of makes sense. Then should have warned you about the lights, the bright lights. But again, it just clip art shapes is the best way of describing it. It feels. It's weird to describe it. It feels simple in the wrong ways and complicated in the wrong ways. That's the best way of describing it. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's like if we were grading this would be a C, a B. It's not a failure at all. It still looks good, just not quite that good. Yeah. Moving on to Audi, I believe it is. No, we are moving on to Haas. Oh, actually, I've been looking forward to doing this one. Right, Haas. On the face of it, this car looks basic. You know? Simple stripes. You know, it's white, it's red. It's white, got a flash of red. It's got a bit of black. What's so special about it? Well, this is where the nerd's going to come out in me. Because here's the thing, right? There's a little bit of history that's going on right now, right? Where, so you can just about see in the background. I don't know if it shows better elsewhere. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can get. Yes, here we go. Side view. See that GR? Now, GR had, or has, or at least had, connection to Toyota, right? It's I think it's like the sports brand of Toyota, something like that. In the same way that Alpine is to Renault, GR is to Toyota. It's their sports division, right? And when Haas first did their partnership with, at that time, TGR, which was, I think it's in like November, December time, there was starting to be rumours that maybe Toyota is taking over. It is taking over the Haas F1 team. Now, rewind a bit. Have a little, if you want to, have a little Google search of the Toyota cars in the 2000s, when Toyota was actually a brand in Formula One, when it's actually a team in Formula One. and tell me it don't look like that. I kid you not. It's basically that vibe. White on the side, white on the top, 2 red stripes going down. That was literally Toyota's brand. Is Haas teasing us here? Like, just for nostalgia and nerd vibes, I am loving this. But I have to say, if this ends up being like a forecast into the future that Toyota is going to end up being a team, oh wow, we are into another levels of ratings here. Absolutely top tier. There are more details than that, of course, where we've got the bit of complexity on the nose cone. I think people are getting used to it still. There's 2 of the cars they've put through, which is, I suppose, quite nice. Got the rear of the car showing there. Anything else? Yeah, it's very much giving Toyota vibes to me. Very much giving Toyota vibes, which is to say amazing. The days of Timo Glock and Jarno Trulli, stunning times at Toyota. Maybe Haas are bringing it back. Maybe Haas are bringing it back. Now, is it Audi next? I think it is. Yes, it is. We move on to Audi next and throwback number 3. I mean, it looks clean. As a first car, it looks clean. I'm loving like the red flashes that they've got in the airboxes that's going on there. Little classy little features. Everything there. The nose looks clean. Everything looks clean about it. And I think this front angle is where I'm getting this nostalgia, because this very much reminds me, gives me vibes of McLaren Mercedes back in the late 2000s as well. I'm literally a nostalgia merchant, and this is like my heaven, right? These are the colours. Now, there's other things that people are mentioning as well, that the I think, is it showing on this car, isn't it? Yeah. That this part, the part near the back, gives over aspects of the quadrilateral shape that's on the back of Audi cars, like next to like the Q8 and things like that. I don't know as much, but I think that's a clean. It is like, it's simple in the right sense this time. Just very little to say that's bad about it. I love this like sort of polished chrome look as well. Very, very nice. And I don't know how fast it's going to be, but it looks gorgeous, and I get the feeling it's going to look amazing in the lights as well. So who's next? We have Mercedes next, and dear, this is the one that I don't think is a banger. I don't think this one is a banger. I can't fully explain why it doesn't appeal. We've got all the parts of it here, right? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think it... Do you know what I think it is? And I think this is the part where everyone's been talking about it. Is this part. The side pods. Now, if this had been like a faded look, like it had been, solid grey and then slowly gets darker into black, I think I'd be cool with it. It would be similar to last year's looking car, but it is fine. But the stacking makes it look messy, like really messy. I don't like it. I mean, if I was to have this, right, if I was to have designed this and you wanted it to look different, maybe black at the front and silver at the back. Like, I don't know, just it was a cool idea, but I think it's just a bit. There's things about it. The Petronas, also the shaping of that on the line looks weird. Yeah, to like maybe you'd have a bit more green on the side, that turquoise green on the sides. But yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's okay, but yeah, it's like a D minus, a C minus. It's I'm not buying it. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. If you want to put a comment down below and say that you love the Mercedes look and think it looks amazing, but yeah, I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. So let's move on. Ferrari. Now, this has split opinion. I think it's fair to say. The white on the top. Now, I'm going to go into rant mode a little bit here because I've seen some comments going, no, you can't have white on a Ferrari. You can't have white on a Ferrari. And in fact, like last time Ferrari was successful, they were purely red. And, as a result, you've got to have red Ferrari, nothing else. Like nothing else will do. It has to be red and white does not belong. Right. Let's pull these all away, right? Let's start off with every Ferrari has to be red all over, and the fact that the last time Ferrari was successful, they had red. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole nerdy thing of, well, one time Ferrari were blue. The whole saga with regards to that, don't need to look into that. Last time Ferrari were red, last time Ferrari won a championship, they were in red. Yes, fair enough. 2007 and 2008 Ferraris, they were solid red. But have a look at the last time Ferrari was pure red. Do you want to know what year that was? 2021. 2022, sorry. 2022, not 2021. 2022. Now, ask a Ferrari fan if they would want a season like 2022. I'm going to say they didn't, because they threw the championship that was gifted to them. So, yeah, solid red Ferrari. It's not necessarily the tradition. It's not the tradition, actually, right? It's actually quite rare. But now the white. Let's address the white. And there's been a lot of mocking going, this white is just showing that the red is fading and all that. I'm not buying it. The first thing I thought of when I saw this look was, Ayo, Niki Lauda. Literally, I imagined seeing this car. I actually imagined the scene from Rush where Niki Lauda is sitting in the seat and calling it an S-Box. Before they tweaked it and before it became a title-winning car. This literally gives those vibes. There was a lot of white on that Ferrari. And yeah, cool. I don't see anything wrong with it. I actually don't see anything wrong with it. And in fact, I am forgetting, because of the fact that the white is now on the cockpit as well as the fin, I'm barely seeing the HP logo anymore. I'm barely seeing it. It looks fine. Not quite as good as the Red Bulls, but it is good. This is good. What tweaks would I do? I'd maybe adjust the colour on the wings. Maybe have that as red or white. Possibly red. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it looks alright. It looks fine. And so, yeah. Solid. Absolutely solid. Now we have our last one. Our last ever one that we're going to be considering for this week. The Alpine. Now, the details of the Alpine. Let's have a look at them there. Here we are. Might as well just show you last year's car, eh? I get it for Alpine. There's not really much they can do here, right? They are sponsored by a water company that's pink and blue, and they're basically just limited to the pink and blue stuff. I don't know what's going on when it comes to Alpine. Obviously, they've moved to Mercedes. There's considerations that Christian Horner's going to be taking over Alpine at some point in the future. I think just because of the similarities to, what is it, Baskin and Robbins, I think the ice cream company is, or whatever it is, it feels a bit childish, let's say, as a scheme, but they're tied by it. I'm not feeling it. It's with the colours that they've been given, which, let's face it, they've basically been forced to have these. I'm not having a go at them, right? That's just what they've got. And they've done the best that they can with it. It looks clean, right? It looks clean. I think I would like to just see... I don't know. I was about to say solid blue, but I don't think it's solid blue because we've got quite a lot of blue cars. That, like solid blue cars with little features on it. But do you know what? Actually, I'm thinking about it. The one car that deserves to be solid blue is an Alpine. Because that is the French colour. That is... And I think maybe... I don't know. Actually, I do know. I've just had a thought of it. The only bits of pink, as well as the sponsor logo, would be the halo cross section, and maybe the bit where the A is near the back. That's it. I want to see a return. As good as BWT is, I kind of feel like what needs to happen right now is Alpine needs to give BWT the same treatment, ironic because it's water treatment, that Eddie Jordan gave to DHL. In the same way that Eddie Jordan of the Jordan Formula 1 team convinced DHL to change their colours to yellow to be a sponsor on his team, Alpine, I think, needs to do the same with BW2 and go, guys, you just need to be blue. We'll make it work for you. You just need to be blue. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it anymore. I've got... Like, it was brash and everything like that, but I'm now in the case where I'm just bored of the pink. I don't want to see it anymore because I'm bored of it. Like, it's not jumping out of us. We're just expecting a blue and pink car, and it's... Yeah, the shock factor's gone, really. Maybe it becomes a one-off livery, I don't know, but... Yeah, I'm not feeling it. But anyways, that's part one. That is part one of the F1 liveries. we will be considering part 2. I believe it'll be in a couple of weeks' time. I will also next week provide my thoughts on the whole testing scenario, everything that's gone on, not just in terms of the team's doing well, but just a little bit of the problems around the privacy and everything like that of Formula One, and my honest thoughts of it. But yeah, that's all that really needs to be said. And all it's left is just to say, take care of yourselves, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming Formula One season, because in terms of the rules, in terms of the way the cars look and everything like that, I am hyped for this year. This year is gonna be bonkers, and I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it as well. So, take care.